Okay, it's time to get started. I'll call this special meeting of the Lawton Water Authority to order. Please call the roll.
Hankins. Present. Harris. Chapman. Present. Gill.
Yes.
Hampton. Uyghur. Williams.
Present.
Warren.
Quorum is established. Unfinished business. Item number 1. Consider approving a 5-year lease agreement with the Lawton Boat Club, Incorporated, allowing for the continued establishment of a boating club with related activities upon certain lands adjacent to the waters of Lake Latonka, with said lease agreement to expire June 30, 2029, and direct the chairman and city clerk to execute the agreement. Dwayne.
Mayor and council, or chairman and members of the authority, this is the updated agreement that was basically presented from members of the boat club that came and spoke with you previously. It incorporated the fee schedule that they proposed, as well as some cleanup language that was recommended from our legal department. We'd recommend that this be approved so we can execute the agreement.
Council, do you have questions or motion?
Mayor, council, I move that we approve this 5-year lease expiring in 2029.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion or debate? Please vote. Need one more vote. Motion carries 6-0. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Chapman. Yes. Gill.
Yes.
Hampton. Uyghur. Yes. Williams.
Yes.
Hankins. Yes.
Water Authority stands adjourned. At this time, I will call the regularly scheduled meeting of the Lawton City Council to order. Please stand for the invocation by Pastor Amber Delger of the First Christian Church, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor?
Thank you, Mayor Booker. Please join me in prayer. Dear Father, we ask for your presence here in this chamber today. We ask that you be with the individuals on our city council, help them to make wise decisions to manage the city's money with care and for the best outcome for the citizens of Lawton. All these things we ask in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Right, thank you. And please call the roll.
Hankins. Harris. Chapman. Gill.
Yes.
Hampton. Uyghur. Williams.
Present.
Warren.
Okay, and quorum is established. And we're going to start off with a presentation by Run for the Wall event presentation. Colonel King, I saw you earlier. If you'll come forward. Here we go. All right. And Chief of Police will join us down front.
Thank you. I'm Mike King. I'm the Oklahoma State Coordinator for Run for the Wall. Run for the Wall is a POW MIA veterans group that rides every year across the United States. Last year was our 34th annual run. This year will be our 35th. We ride for those that can't. If you don't know, this next year will be the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. So the ride this year will tailor around that. We'll be coming through Lawton and visiting Fort Sill for about 3 hours. 2 years ago was our first year at Fort Sill. Last year we came through And I have a presentation for the mayor and the police chief. So it says, Run for the Wall, 34th Annual Run, City of Lawton, Mayor Stan Booker, and grateful appreciation for support shown to Midway Route, 10th anniversary. We can't go through cities without law enforcement support, and everywhere we go, law enforcement is always willing to help us. And so for that, to the police chief, Mr. Smith, Jim Smith, Lawton Police Department, appreciate your support in helping us get through all those traffic lights on Rogers Lane.
All right, do you have anything else to say?
No, sir.
Because I want to say so. Isn't it funny that I get a plaque and you did all the work? Because I'm going to tell you, you guys are awesome. That was the neatest event I probably went to last year, to go out there and see all of those motorcycles that were coming to remember the war from when I was a child that I didn't go to because the draft ended the year that I graduated. But we have so many members of our community that are Vietnam veterans. As a matter of fact, I think George Gill might be. And so such an important thing. And I don't have a plaque for you, but I think this audience will help me give you a big round of applause for what you do. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
We're coming back.
All right.
So this year we'll be coming back to Fort Sill again. It'll be the 50th anniversary, like I said, at the end of the Vietnam era, the Vietnam War. We'd appreciate your support for Run for the Wall. And also a plug for a new group here in Lawton that has just recently opened a garage for veterans, a free motorcycle garage for veterans and active duty soldiers called M25. There's Facebook information out there. They're going to be giving away a motorcycle to a veteran here next weekend. So there are exciting things happening in the Lawton Fort Sill community that surround veterans. So appreciate y'all's support, and we'll get some more information out on the webpage. So we gave away several $1,000s here last year. There's also a Veterans Administration. There's a Veterans Home that we also support, along with the Veterans VA Home that we visit every year as well. So we look forward to coming to Lawton. It's a brand new stop for us. It's only been 3 years, but we look forward to coming to Lawton every single year. And I appreciate your support, Mr.
All right,
Mayor.
let's appreciate them one more time for all that they do. God bless you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, employee spotlight.
Thanks, guys. Beth Knighton, are you here? Beth, come on down. I'll tell you, I get the privilege of presenting these awards every meeting, and this is one, when I read the award citation, you know, I'll be honest with you, I was a little moved emotionally, because it's just not something you see every day, and it's pretty amazing. Beth is an employee at our library. She works at the community engagement team. She's been there for approximately 12 years. And a couple of weeks ago, she was going through books that have been donated, because that's what we do, is we go through and we categorize them, we organize them. And in one of these donated books, Beth found $1,300. And no one in a million years would have known if she would have pocketed that money and never said anything. But that's not what Beth did. Beth figured out who donated the book. They got the donor their money back. And I think that's a pretty amazing good deed. So we certainly wanted to recognize it. So please give Beth a rousing round of applause. So Beth, we've got a certificate for you. Be careful. And we've got a coin for you.
I'm just going to lose it all.
That's okay. Let me help you.
Thank you. Made it interesting today.
That's right. Thank you, Beth.
So much.
Please, one more round of applause for Beth.
Okay, and now we have introduction of our new animal welfare superintendent. John?
Yes, sir. Can I get Cliff Blassingame to come down, please? So, members of the council and citizens of Lawton, so Cliff is our brand new animal welfare superintendent. He brings with him a variety of experience, and he's a retired LPD officer. He also has a ton of National Guard experience. He was the Oklahoma TAG, which is a National Guard 2-star general. Cliff was his, sir? Oh, well, he held a very high-level sergeant major position within the Oklahoma National Guard. So we're super happy to have you, Cliff. And would you please introduce yourself?
Push this button.
Oh, okay. How about now? Can everybody hear me now? So, like I said, retired from the police department, retired from the Oklahoma Army National Guard, spent 38 years there, deployed numerous times. Instead of being the TAG, I was the state operations sergeant major, and then I was also the USPFO sergeant major for the state of Oklahoma. Wanted to take this opportunity to thank the police department, Mr. Mayor, the City Council for giving me this opportunity. It's a challenge that I think that we can face and that we can accomplish great things here. And I'm looking forward to working with everybody on this thing.
Now, before you run off, Cliff, I just want to make sure you got the memo, because I don't see an I Love Lawton Fort Sale pin on you. Okay, so you can't say that anymore. And we look forward to seeing that on you. You'll look complete when that's on. Thank you. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you, Cliff. Now we move to the reports.
Mayor, I'm sorry, we've got one more. It, for whatever reason, didn't make the agenda. But Michael Watros, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, our new Director of Public Works, comes from us. He's a retired Air Force service member who just recently returned to the area, and he will be taking over Public Works when Larry retires next month. So we wanted to give him a warm welcome as well and welcome him to the team.
Sure, and I think there's a button, right? Oh, it's on now. Okay, there we go. I thought I heard the button, so I'm glad I wasn't the first one. My name is Michael Watros. Yes, I just retired from the Air Force. Will actually be retired on 1 September, so I definitely love the military community. I know there's a bunch of Army here, being close to Fort Sill, so hopefully nobody throws any tomatoes or anything at me. But definitely, thank you very much, Mayor, City Council members, City Manager, and the citizens of Lawton for letting me be here. And hopefully, we'll do a good job for y'all.
All right, let's give him a round of applause. Now, don't run off. Don't run off. Come back up here, because I don't see a pin on you either. We're going to have to do better at getting that memo out, aren't we? You know you get fined if you don't have that on the next time I see you, right?
Mayor, I apologize. That's your clerk falling down on the job, not
If
getting
what?
the pins out.
I appreciate you taking credit for that. All right, now we'll move on to the reports by the mayor and city council, and let's start with Ward 1.
I might add, it's just time to get your lawnmowers out because the grass is growing, and as I drive through the wards, it's getting bad. So get your lawnmowers out.
All right, thank you. Ms. Chapman?
There's so many good things going on in Lawton. I'm not going to take that much time to go over all of them, but I will mention the street program that the mayor initiated about a year and a half ago is still going along in real fine record. We're fixing to start another 15 streets. They've already been approved, gone out for contract, bid on and approved. So they'll be starting real soon, so you'll see some more streets in your neighborhood. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Hampton?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I'll be quick. I had oral surgery on my jaw, so I didn't make it to the farmer's market, but the week before, I got a cantaloupe. Oh, my goodness, that was the sweetest cantaloupe I've ever got. I encourage you, make your way out there. You'll meet people, you'll talk to people. It's a great venue, Saturday morning. And I also want to say, I was driving down the road, you know, we're marking streets now. I don't know if you've noticed that down Gore. They're aligning the streets and marking them. The new roads that we put in under the mayor's enacting that road committee. And you can say you care all you want, but when you back it up by doing things that show other people that come into our town and the citizens like myself, we do care. And we are starting to care more and more and show we care for our community. And I think that the council should be commended, the staff that has been working on that, and of course, city manager's office and the support of all the citizens. We are showing that we care about Lawton. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Mr. Wigger? Okay, Ms. Williams?
Yes, Mayor. I'd just like to thank everyone that's been involved in the Lawton View Community Improvement Project, and it's still ongoing until August the 13th of this year. And that is where we are painting some homes, mowing some lawns, and for free, okay? Also, the Metropolitan Transportation Plan is currently being updated. The public, you're welcome to fill out a survey if you want to write this link down, www.directions2050.com. And also, the land use of 2030 is being updated also. And there's also a survey for the public, and you can fill it out at www.surveymonkey.com/r/Lawton, Oklahoma. And this is just a vision of the community growth. Thank you.
All right, and Colonel Baird?
Yes, sir, and for everybody, it's been a month since I've been in the seat, and I really appreciate it. I've been in the Army for a long time. Not ready to retire yet. Where's our Air Force guy? Not ready to retire yet, but it's been a long time. And I got to say, this is probably the best community military relationship I've ever been a part of. So we're definitely going to continue that here, at least in my tenure, for the next couple of years. And again, I just want to say thanks for everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. We appreciate that. We pride ourselves on a great relationship with our soldiers and taking care of our soldier families. And on August the 1st, we have coming up the celebration for Lawton's birthday. Now, Lawton's birthday is actually August 6th, but we always do it the Thursday before the 6th of August. And it's really, I think it's going to be the best one yet, because we're going to have a reenactment of what I call the courtship of Maddie Beal, who received over 500 proposals of marriage. Now, we're probably not going to go through all 500. But she received over 500 proposals. It's going to be fun. A lot of music from the Oklahoma production. It's going to be a great time. I think it's going to be the best one yet. I hope you'll watch the Arts and Humanities Facebook page and the City of Lawton Facebook page for the announcements and the time and all of that. And of course, that is a free event. All right, and with that, we will move on to audience participation. Lawton citizens having an item of business to present to the City Council that does not appear on the agenda, please come forward at this time. The Mayor and Council will receive comments from audience members. Council may recommend to the individual or group as to what action they should take, in essence, referring to the situation to a particular department or person at the city office. In order to participate in audience participation, each speaker must submit a request to speak form to the city clerk and must reside within the city limits of Lawton. Each speaker will have a 3-minute time limit. Each topic will have a 9-minute time limit, and audience participation will be limited to 30 minutes in total. Each participant is required to adhere to the rules of decorum outlined in Council Policy 1-6. And we have a request from David Reeves, 1919 Kenyon Avenue. David, come on up.
Yeah. In the executive session today, you're planning on discussing an ordinance based on the ordinance in Grants Pass, Oregon, the anti-camping thing, and I question your motives. That
Is that
law
something
has
that's on
actually
the
been.
agenda? No? Okay. Go ahead. I thought it was-
It's on the agenda. It's not on for executive session, but it's on,
Okay.
I thought it was on the. Maybe I missed that.
What is the
Well,
item number?
apologies.
it's item number 28.
Okay, you'll have to, sir, you'll have to wait until item number 28 is that?
Oh,
We'll
okay.
call on you again. Audience
Sounds
participation
good.
is for items that are not on the agenda, okay? Thank you. And Mr. Wilson, we've changed our rules that you have to be a member, a resident of the city of Lawton to speak.
I
And
heard
so-
that. Yeah, I heard that. You said that just now. I
Pardon me,
didn't,
that was,
Back, because he's going to come back.
oh, okay. So unfortunately, the rules only allow residents of the city of Lawton to speak during
Okay.
audience participation. But you're welcome, as we talked about when the council passed that rule, to submit your concerns in writing, and it will be distributed to all elected officials.
Okay. Has everybody been getting my emails? I'm not sure because nobody really replies to any of my emails that I send out.
Okay, well, there's no requirement for them to reply, but we don't reply on the dais either. But your concerns will be distributed to the elected officials.
Okay.
And anyone else you address it to on the staff, okay?
Okay. So is it just that you have to live here? If you
Have
work
to-
here
You have
and
to be a
everything else?
resident of the city limits of Lawton.
So if you work here and you supply taxes to the city, you can't speak if you're affected by policies of the city?
You have to be a resident of the city of Lawton, but you still have a voice and you could submit it in writing,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
Thank you very much. Hold on just a minute, Mr. Wilson. I might have misunderstood. He's wanting to speak on item 28, but he also had audience participation. Were you wanting to speak on a particular item, or were you wanting to speak on audience participation?
I just want to speak on a particular item that affects me and a lot of people. in
Okay, you'll be able to speak on that.
At 28, same as the other gentleman was 20.
Okay, you'll be able to speak on that on item 28. I apologize, you had both of them checked here and I didn't notice the item number. You will be allowed to speak on item 28.
Okay, so do I wait until item 28 to speak?
Yes.
But it's not going to be about item 28?
Well, if it's not about 28, you can't speak at 28.
Okay. Yeah, so I was a little bit confused. What is item 28 about?
Okay.
Item 28 is about the Grants Pass ruling by the Supreme Court. We have somebody else that's going to speak on that. That's why we had him sit down. So if you've got item 28 on your
I might
page.
wrote that on there.
Oh, okay.
Thinking I had the wrong one.
Sure,
You-
okay.
Your request was to speak during audience participation, right? Okay. Unfortunately, we've changed the rules, but we look forward to getting your concern in writing. Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else that wants to come forward during audience participation to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? Seeing none. Did you want to speak on an item that wasn't on the agenda?
It was, I filled out the paper to speak.
Okay, no, you'll be called on. Okay, with that, I'm moving on to the consent agenda. The following items are to be considered routine by the city council and be enacted with one motion. Should discussion be desired on an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda prior to action and considered separately. Council, I'll be pulling item 21 and 22 for presentations and discussion. Are there any other items that you wish to pull? Seeing none, can I have a motion for passage of the consent agenda with the exception of item 21 and 22? Have a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. Bringing up item 21. Consider approving or denying the variance for installation of sink and an exterior stair for the boathouse located at Schoolhouse Slough number 34 and take action as necessary. Charlotte.
Good afternoon. This was considered by the Building Development Appeals Board on July 15th, and the variance for this one is recommended approval for the installation of a sink and an exterior stair.
Do we have motion for?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and approve this.
Okay, I have a motion for approval.
Second.
And a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. Item 22, consider approving or denying the variance request for exterior stairs and slip for a boathouse located at Schoolhouse Slough number 51 and take action as deemed necessary. Charlotte.
This one was also considered by the Building Development Appeals Board on July 15th, and their recommendation is to deny the variance.
Okay, Mr. Gill.
Mr. Mayor, I had intended to make that meeting. I was unable to, but I think it need to be pointed out that both of these boat houses are owned by the same individual. It really doesn't cause a problem since it's one owner for both, and I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and approve that this be allowed to be as it is.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve. Discussion or debate? City Manager?
Mayor, I just want to clarify, are we approving the variance?
Yes.
Okay.
Approve the variance.
Do we have and that was your second, correct? Okay. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. And that brings up unfinished business. Number 25. Hold on just a second. Consider directing staff to accept or reject bid on project PR 2309 Elmer Thomas Park Aquatic Center and take action as deemed necessary. Scott.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Once again, Scott Vaughn, Project Manager on behalf of the City of Lawton. Since we met with you folks 2 weeks ago, staff, Councilman Gill, the architect, and our contractor met to look at ways to trim costs for this particular project. I believe we do have a presentation if it's ready for display.
Sir, you do have a presentation. I'm just waiting for it to load, so if
Sure,
you can just...
okay. So I'll try to stall for a moment or two. I'm not real good at that, but I will try. Anyway, we did find some ways to trim costs from this particular project. I think Mayor and Council discussed at the last meeting the importance of the project. Of course, Snayaw is here. To my left, Sam Tippins, representing Miller Tippins, the contractor's here. To my right is Omar Kudri with Guernsey, the architect for the project. And with that, we would be glad to...
Why don't you go over the project savings real quick that
Sure.
you've come up with?
So basically, there were several project savings that were identified. One is the concession building as designed as a CMU or concrete masonry unit building. And the suggested change was to make that a timber frame building. It would still have protective surfaces to resist moisture and rot and things of that nature, but it would be a cheaper installation. It would require redesign by the architect to change it from a CMU building to a wood frame or timber frame structure. Secondly, the proposal was to remove air conditioning from the bathhouses, not the concession, but from the bathhouse, what I call a bathhouse. Excuse me if that term's too crude, but it's basically where the restrooms and the changing areas are. But then further, what was proposed was to basically remove the paving of the parking lots from this contract to be done at some point in time by the city under another manner. So there would be a savings to this particular project. There's one other savings, potential savings that I'll mention real briefly, but it's potentially will change the way the soil is treated under the buildings, but that is something that we will hold in abeyance until we actually are under construction and can test the soils further. But basically, the potential cost savings to this contract for about $900,000. That would take the total bid price down to about $19 million, approximately. Yes, sir. Right, if we enacted the alternates, correct.
Okay, and tell us again, it looks like we might be having trouble, I don't know. Tell us again the construction schedule.
So that is an important aspect that may be well discussed also with the funding, but as bid, the project is to be completed by next May or May of 2025. As part of the funding mechanism that I think staff will be proposing, there is a suggestion to alter that slightly that I think would be beneficial to the project. It kind of lets everybody catch their breath before we get started and gather their senses, so to speak, before we get started with the actual construction. Do you want to discuss that at this point, Mayor, or wait?
Yeah, come on up and give us a staff recommendation. Looks like we got a little bit of a problem on the presentation, but go ahead.
Mayor and Council, so staff has worked with the team here. We've looked at the funding sources and how the project would be funded. We do have current CIP dollars, but there is not enough to basically do the entire project. So what we're making a recommendation to do is approve the project moving forward, subject to availability of funds. Those funds would become available after the vote.
Manager,
hold on a minute.
let him fin- okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So what we would anticipate is this is going to be one of the projects that's included in the CIP extension. Certainly at the timing of this, by approving the project, subject to those funds, then we will be able to push that out to the public, and they can decide if they really want this park and this aquatic park put in Elmer Thomas Park. And it's a great amenity. It's a good day for the city because we have an opportunity to really change the outcome of our water infrastructure.
Mr. Mayor, we've all seen the presentation, and it's a beautiful picture. Nice facility. I know the city is looking forward to having this. I would like to make a motion at this time that we go ahead and approve the Aquatic Center with the alternates based on proper financing.
Does that get us where we want to go? Okay. I have a motion. Who was the second? Okay. Discussion or debate? Let's vote. I know y'all drove a long ways for your presentation, but it looks like this just passed unanimously. So if you have a beautiful presentation, I'm sure we have a Facebook page we can post that on. Okay? Thank you. All right, I'm excited about
Mayor, I would like to note that you each have a copy of the presentation, and I'm so sorry that this did not work. The presentation is also attached to this agenda item that is publicly posted if anyone else wants to see it.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on to 26. Receive a presentation from GH2 Architects LLC with the conceptual design plan and exterior renderings for the construction of a new animal welfare adoption center, along with the renovation of the existing animal welfare facility for the Animal Welfare Building Project EN 2304, and take action as deemed necessary. Sneha.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I have Jamie Prashaw from GH2 Architects who will be here presenting the conceptual design they worked on animal welfare building. So,
is the presentation going to work? Or I have it on here and I can display if I need to. I can be a Vanna. Okay.
If you would like to bring your laptop up to me, I'll see if we can hook it up to.
Sure.
No promises, but I'll try.
Okay. Awesome. So while she's doing that, I'm going to get started then, just being respectful of everybody's time. So thank you all for having us here. My name is Jamie Preshaw. I'm an associate principal with GH2 Architects. I also run our animal division within GH2. So we focus on projects that are specific to animals. So we were so lucky to be able to participate in this project. So thank you all for allowing us this opportunity. The slide that you're seeing first is an exterior rendering of what we would propose. So to the left of this rendering would be the existing building as it stands today. We'll talk through the floor plan here in a minute. But then really the picture that you're seeing is a beautiful connecting element to the existing building, including a play yard. And then a new addition that would be your new adoption center with a new front door, some beautiful signage, and we'll talk about the floor plan next. So the next slide, everything to the left is the existing building. We would have some renovations within that, including renovations to the existing animal spaces, some of your admin spaces. There's a fairly large storage room that's within that space right now that we would take advantage of for clinical purposes, including intake, as well as laundry, utility spaces, things that just help make the facility run better. And then everything to the right, so the green and the purple space, would be your new adoption center. So those would all be animals that are ready to be adopted out to the public, including dogs and cats. Another big piece to note on this floor plan is the intake space. So you have a brand new vet that's starting. We're excited about that. But part of what we see within animal shelters is really the ability to properly intake animals. Thank you. Thanks for trying. Thanks. So the ability to take animals in from your public, to be able to vaccinate them properly, to get all of the right things, what weight are we, what sort of food are we on, make sure that the animal's healthy before you introduce them to your general population, therefore helping to reduce the amount of potential outbreaks, and thus the amount of animals that ultimately have to be euthanized. So we think that this plan really helps take into account a lot of the trends within the animal industry, and also helps push the City of Lawton's animal welfare further and bring it really up to date with what are the current trends and needs, and all of the right fear-free type things that really make it a wonderful center for today. The next slide is really just a rendering of what the cat adoption space would be. So plenty of outdoor light, welcoming, safe for the animals, easy to clean for the staff. The slide after that is a rendering of the dog adoption spaces. So again, easy to clean, meeting all of the right requirements from a size standpoint so that we have all the right licensures. A space that's welcoming, trying to make sure that we're taking sound into consideration throughout this so that we're not promoting dogs barking, and we're also absorbing any of that sound so it's not so loud. The next slide is really a cost estimate. So we did have an escalation factor on here, knowing that should you all approve this, we still have to be able to go design it, finish our construction documents. So this would be anticipated cost to begin construction next year. We were directed to stay under $5 million, and including design fees and including that escalation, we're just above $5 million. But that's really on trend with what we see, for jurisdictions of this size. And then the last slide is just the same rendering from the exterior. So thank you guys for your time. If you guys have any questions, we're happy to answer anything that you guys might have.
Okay, Deputy City Manager's going to speak.
So I apologize you weren't able to see the presentation. Staff has worked really, really hard on trying to get this down to where it's affordable based on the plan that the mayor and council have set out for the CIP extension. The $5 million budget mark, we were able to get that, the facility, the actual construction cost of that down to there. We do have currently in today's budget a little over $500,000 that could be utilized to move forward with the final construction plan so that we'll be ready to go out for bid pending the outcome of the CIP extension, which that vote will take place in August. So What we're recommending is that you approve the concept as presented and that you direct staff to enter into negotiations with GH2 so that they can move forward with putting those final construction plans together, and then we can go out for bids.
All right, Mr. Gill.
I just wanted to say that this was something the mayor was really working on and pushing, and I want to thank Jamie because I missed that one meeting, but you got it in the budget, and that's great. To have an architect get a project in budget is something that's really good. And I know staff has really worked hard on it, and it's a beautiful project. I'm really happy with it, and I'm going to yield to Ms. Hankins. That's her.
Ms. Hankins?
That's her deal too.
Bring my doggies for timeout, maybe. Mayor and council, I make a motion to approve conceptual plans as presented by GH2 Architects, LLC, for the construction of a new animal welfare adoption center, along with the renovation of the existing animal welfare facility, project EN 2304, and direct staff to negotiate a contract with GH2 Architects, LLC, for the design construction plans of the facility.
Okay, good motion. Do we have a second? We do have a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Okay, motion carries unanimous 6-0. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, and that brings up item 27. Hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution declaring the structures located at 306 Southwest Jefferson, 404 Southwest 23rd Place, 511 Northwest Mission Boulevard, 911 Southwest 4th Street, 1216 Northwest Andrews Avenue, 1308 Southwest Pennsylvania Avenue, 1401 Northwest Osmond Avenue, 1502 Summit Avenue, 1506 Southwest Summit Avenue, 1511 Southwest Dr. Charles W. Whitlow Avenue, 1512 Southwest Dr. Charles W. Whitlow Avenue, 1812 Southwest D Avenue, 1913 Northwest Lincoln Avenue, 2102 Southwest 16th Street, and 2612 Southwest G Avenue, also known as 2612 and a half Southwest G Avenue, to be dilapidated pursuant to Section 651 Lawton City Code, ordering the owner to abate the nuisance, authorizing summary abatement, and authorizing the city attorney to commence legal action in district court to abate the nuisance. Hold on. What is the address you're here to speak on?
2102 Southwest 16th Street.
It's my wife's, but she's in hospital, so I'm here on her behalf.
Okay.
Sir, is it 2102 Southwest 16th Street? Okay.
Okay.
That gentleman is here. I think
Okay, we are going to do this a little bit different. And we're not going to have a presentation unless someone's here to protest. Okay? So I'm going to read the address and ask if there's anybody here to speak on an item. Okay, so the first one is 306 Southwest Jefferson. Is there anyone here to speak on 306 Southwest Jefferson? Seeing none, I'm going to open the public hearing on 306 Southwest Jefferson. Is there anyone here? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Council.
Mayor, move to approve a resolution declaring the structures on the property dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Do we have a second? Discussion or debate? Please vote. Okay, motion passes 6-0. That moves us to 404 Southwest 23rd Place. Is there anyone here to speak on 404 Southwest 23rd Place? Seeing none, I'm going to open the public hearing on 404 Southwest 23rd Place. Is there anyone here to speak on 404 Southwest 23rd Place? I will close the public hearing. Council.
Mayor, Council, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on the property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. Okay, 511 Northwest Mission Boulevard. Is there anyone here to speak on 511 Northwest Mission Boulevard? Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing on 511 Northwest Mission Boulevard. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Council. That's Ward 2, and he's not here.
I'll go ahead and speak for Ward 2 representative. I move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on the property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
Is there a second? We do have a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. One more. Motion carries 6-0. Bringing up 911 Southwest 4th Street. Is there anyone here for 9?
Correct. That one is already torn down. We actually recommend that we take no action on that one as the owner has brought the property down. Correct. Southwest 4th Street. Correct.
It is, Mayor.
Bringing up 1216 Northwest Andrews Avenue. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on 1216 Northwest Andrews Avenue? I will open the public hearing at this time on 1216 Northwest Andrews Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Council.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on the property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
Is there a second? We do have a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. Okay, now we're going to go through the presentation on this one. We have somebody to speak. 1308 Southwest Pennsylvania Avenue. Josh.
Sorry about that. Give me a second. I've got some slides to go through. What's that? Okay, so 1308 Southwest Pennsylvania Avenue, inactive water account since 2020. Sorry about that. All right, so this property, we do have damaged trim, as well as the siding, more damaged siding under the window, corner trim damage, as well as more soffits and, trim and siding. The trim and siding damage actually goes all the way throughout the trailer. a little bit of skirting damage on the end there as well. These properties were actually posted on 7/9 of 2024. Any questions?
Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing on 1308 Southwest Pennsylvania Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward at this time. Donna Richards, speaking on behalf of the trust. You're the trustee for the Frank L. Richards Trust, right?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Donna, thank you.
That mobile home was sold to a Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan back prior to 2009, and that was paid off about approximately 2016, but it also, with that sale, was 4 lots. So when in 2016 and 17, we had no access to the office. Mr. Richards was 99 years old. I had no idea that the lots had not been transferred, but I was able to procure a lawyer and have the deeds brought up to date so that all these 4 lots are now in Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan's name. And I did bring a copy of the recorded deed. Sure.
Come on, sir,
come on
to the
up,
microphone.
John, can you turn your mic on if you're...
If you say served, it was something put on July 9th on the door.
Okay, so you got service for the door.
Yes, I received that, and I'm here to let you know it does need to be re-siding. The inside is good. The floors have been redone on the inside, and so I was here opposed to saying not to tear it down, but to re-side it, to do things because taxes are paid up on it and everything, and I do own the lot, the siding and everything on to the left adjacent to it. Okay. We was going to be building a house adjacent to the left, and so it just need to be updated. So I'm here as a citizen saying that I will re-side instead of abate or tear it down, but I will bring it up to date.
Okay, so this is great. Your goal is the same as ours, to get that thing up to code.
Correct.
And so this is going to work out perfectly. Now, my guess is that the council is going to go ahead and put this on the D&D, but what that means is you have 6 weeks to get a permit, a remodel permit,
Right.
and then every month you have to show the good faith of making improvement. But they'll work with you hand in hand to get you where we need to be.
No
Is there
problem.
anything else you want to tell us?
No, that was it. Just one, like I
All
said,
right.
just wanted to keep my property and updated and be the citizen.
Thank you.
Because I'm an elder in the community as well.
We're good. We have the same goals. Is there anybody else wishing to speak on this item? At this time, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Mayor, I have to abstain because that is a relative.
I advised her to. Typically, you wouldn't have to do that unless there was like some financial.
Okay, so Ms. Williams is abstaining. Can somebody else make a motion?
Yes, Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on the property as dilapidated, public nuisance, and authorize the abatement thereof according to the resolution. Yes.
And we have a motion and a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 5. You need to hit the abstain button, please. You got it. Motion carries 5 with 1 abstention. Thank you. Bringing up 1401 Northwest Osmond Avenue. Is there anyone here to speak on 1401? Are you on Osmond, sir? Okay. Go ahead and make your presentation on 1401 Northwest Osmond Avenue.
Okay, 1401 Northwest Osmond Avenue. This property does have an active water account. It does also have a fire date of March the 8th, 2024. This property was pretty much a full burnout. The view from the inside of the property, burnt siding, side of the house as well, and a view from the backside, as well as another view from inside of the house. We did post on this property July 9th, 2024. Any questions?
At this time, I will open the public hearing on 1401 Northwest Osmond Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward at this time. Yes, sir. Give us your name and address, please.
Steve Gaddis, 4205 Northwest Pollard Avenue, Lawton, Oklahoma. Well, I'm a victim of a squatter, homeless individual that had the construction materials in the building, sheetrock and siding. And I told him to move on last year, and he wouldn't listen to me. And he started, well, basically treating the house as his own at the time. But he was spreading out a lot of his stuff that he owned in the front and backyard, and it was becoming a nuisance. And the city hauled some of it away, and I'm assuming that's when it must have caught fire, because of the individual being...
Sir, can I ask you what your plans are for that building?
Well, it was to remodel it. Yeah, it still is. But the intentions are to remodel the building, sir.
So, okay, so if your intentions are to remodel it, those are our intentions, is to get it livable again. So that's, that's what we're looking for. But we're also, as you can imagine, as elected officials, we're responsible for public safety. And so my guess is the council will put this on the D&D, but the staff will be working with you. If you get a remodel permit, you'll have 6 weeks to get a remodel permit, and then you'll have to show good faith effort every month for 6 months. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is anyone else wanting to come forward on this address?
Sir.
Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on the property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. Bring it up 1502 Southwest Summit Avenue. 7-0. Okay. Hello, Mr. Warren. Motion carries 7-0. Bringing up 1502 Southwest Summit Avenue. Anyone here to speak? Are you guys speaking on Summit? Okay. Please give us a presentation on 1502 Southwest Summit Avenue. I've got 1502.
Do the next
1502. 1502. Nobody here to speak on 1502?
Oh, they're on 6. Okay, they're on 1506.
Okay, I'm opening the public hearing on 1502 Southwest Summit Avenue. Anybody wishing to speak, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Yes, Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structures on this property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
Is there a second? Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 7-0, bringing up 1506 Southwest Summit Avenue. Please give us a presentation.
Sorry. All right, 1506 Southwest Summit Avenue. There is no active or no water account found. This property does have siding damage throughout the whole thing. We do have these boards as well, which I believe are possibly trying to hold up the building. More siding damage, broken windows, trim damage siding all the way throughout. on the other side of the house as well. Board up windows, siding. Did post on this property 7/9 of 24. Any questions?
I'll open the public hearing on 1506 Southwest Summit Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward. Yes, sir, we need your name and address.
My name is
please.
Esteban Ramirez, and I'm the owner of the house. I sold the house to this
Okay,
gentleman.
please speak into the microphone.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Esteban Ramirez. I sold the house to this gentleman over here, so I'm the owner of the house no more. He's the owner now. Just want to let you know, he's the owner of the house.
Okay, have we fulfilled our legal requirement?
Who did we give notice to? Sorry.
Do you have a deed? Can you bring it up?
Yeah, let's see I need to see the deed real quick. Let me see what we got. Okay. This was filed today.
Okay, so that was just filed today, so we fulfilled our legal requirement?
Right, yeah, I sold the house about 5 years ago, but he never have it changed anything.
Okay, can you come up to the mic and tell me your intentions on this house?
I'm Ramirez. I'm his son. Our intentions are to...
Okay, bend down and speak in that short mic. There you go.
Our intentions are to remodel the property.
You're going to remodel it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great, because that's our goal, all right?
Guys,
So
here's this deed.
If you'll have, my guess is the council's going to put this on the D&D, and if they do, you'll have 6 weeks to get a remodel permit. You heard the story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that wants to come forward and speak? I'll close the public hearing. Council,
Yes, Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structures on this property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
is there a second? We do have a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 7-0. Bringing up 1511 Southwest Dr. Charles W. Whitlow Avenue. Josh.
So actually, 1511 Charles Whitlow, the owners of this residence were going to make it here today. Then they had a death in the family and had to go out of state. We were just trying to see if maybe we can push this onto a different meeting, so that way they could be
You're
here.
pushing this one off to a different meeting?
If it's possible.
Council, I'd recommend no action here.
Sorry about that, yes.
Does that start the process over on it, and is that what you want?
I don't think it would start the process over.
Okay, so we're just taking no action. We're moving to 1512 Southwest Dr. Charles W. Whitlow Avenue. We do have a speaker. Please make the presentation.
All right, 1512 Southwest Dr. Charles W. Whitlow. No water account on this property since 2020. As you see on this, the siding right here, we do have holes in the siding, possible hail damage, trim damage throughout as well. There is some roof damage. We have hanging gutters, siding, missing siding, back side of the house as well with the trim, the boarded windows, and the better half view of that back half. Post on this property 7/9 of 24. Any questions?
This time I will open the public hearing on 1512 Southwest Dr. Charles W. Whitlow Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward. And let's see, Marlo Howard?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. What do you have to tell us?
Yes, this is a great home. Yeah, that storm caused some damage, but it's a great property. The yard is maintained. There's motion lights around the home, security doors, as you can see, well, not from this photo, but on all three sides, front, side, and back door, 100% effective. Just have not conducted the rehab on it yet, but in the very near future, I intended to get this taken care of. So it'll get a new roof as well as some remodeling in the inside. New floor, updated kitchen, bathroom.
And it looks very fixable. You understand the drill that I've explained?
Yes, I do.
If the council puts it on the D&D, and I suspect them will, you understand the drill. You'll
Understood.
have 6 weeks to get your permit, right?
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else you want to tell me?
No.
Okay, is there anyone else wants to speak on this address? At this time, I'll close the public hearing. Council.
Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on the property dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
I heard a motion and a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Two more. One more. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, guys. Bringing up 1812 Southwest D Avenue. Is there anyone here for 1812 Southwest D Avenue? At this time, I open the public hearing on 1812 Southwest D Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak, please come forward. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Council.
Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structures on this property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
I do have a motion and a second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. And motion carries 7-0, bringing up 1913 Northwest Lincoln Avenue.
We were originally going to pull this due to a legal issue with the deed, but it looks like the new owner is here to speak on that. Mr. Let me see. Peterlin? Okay, there we go. So
All right, so let's go ahead and have the presentation.
Right, 1913 Northwest Lincoln Avenue, no water account since 2018 with the fire date of September 3rd, 2018 as well. This property does show that has back taxes all the way to 2022. We do have missing siding, a view from the inside of the window of the residence, damaged soffit, as well as the trim. A view from the back side of the house, you can see the fire damage, as well as the unsecured structure, broken windows, missing doors. There is a small accessory structure on the property as well, posted on the property 7/9 of 24. Any questions?
At this time, I'll open the public hearing on 1913 Northwest Lincoln Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward at this time.
Yes, council members. My name is Earl Peterlin. I've bought 9 houses since I moved to Lawton 3 years ago. I've remodeled 5 of them. This one is probably number 8 that I'm going to do. I do not have any plans to remodel this house in 2024. It'll probably be in the middle of 2025 before I get to it. 5 of these houses are on Arlington and 10th Street, and 4 of them are done there. One's on Gore. I've already finished it. It just takes time to get through these houses. This house was bought for about $8,000, so it's not a priority for me right now, but I will get to it. And I've got a partner in this house. He just happens not to be here today.
Okay, it's unfortunate. I don't think that's going to line up. My guess is the council is going to put this on the D&D, and you'll have 6 weeks to get your remodel permit, and you'll have to show good faith to improve every month for 6 months.
That's a stretch, Mr. Mayor. When we first bought this house, we secured it and we put building materials in it to come back and fix the roof. And that weekend, all of our building materials were taken. The doors were ripped off the back of the house, and it was probably a $15,000 to $20,000 worth of materials that just vanished. I didn't realize the crime level in that area. Neighbors said they saw trucks show up, and 30 minutes later they were gone. So because it was such a loss that we took on top of it, that property is just not a priority for me right now.
I understand.
But it is one that I intend to, I want to put a renter in it. So
Okay, you understand the drill if the council does put it on the deal. Is there anybody else that would like to come forward and speak on this?
Could I not have to do this in 6 months? Because I've got 3 other houses that are in front of it. And this house was burned. I bought this house in 2022, a couple years after it burned. Myself and Jesus Mendoza, and we will get to this house, but we've gotten to other ones that were in worse shape than this.
The problem is, well, we can throw that to the council. Council, do you want to ask any questions of this owner?
Mayor, may I ask a question? Sir, have you paid, you said you purchased this house in 2022?
Yes.
Was it delinquent in property taxes when you purchased it?
It was. I talked to Jesus about this. I thought it was up to date on its property taxes, but I can go downstairs or wherever. and figure out what it is.
I don't think it is, and I think this property is close. So it may behoove council not to demo it because it may end up on a tax sale list next year.
Okay, I'm going to continue. Do you want me to continue this? Okay, I'm going to continue this to do I need to do it to a date certain?
Yes, we need to do it to the date certain so we don't have to
Which will be the
renotice.
second council meeting.
13th of August, or 26th of August.
I'm going to continue this
27th?
public hearing to the 26th of August.
Is that
Okay.
right, or is it the 27th? 27th.
27th of August. We're going to continue this till the 27th of August. I suggest you work with staff
Absolutely.
to figure something out until the 27th of August, okay?
For the interest of clarity, so the previous owners were here. We weren't sure if you were here or not. The deed got filed, but it was considered, it didn't have husband and wife on it, so they did not process the deed, even though they were the ones that filled it out at the county clerk's office. They're at the county clerk's office now, getting that cured. So that might have been a reason you didn't get a direct notice. Did you get it on a sticker on the door?
I found out about this yesterday.
Okay, so that's one reason you didn't get mailed notice. That might be another reason to. So there was an issue with that deed that was filed 2 years ago.
But we went down and filed it in person.
Yeah, and they filled it out for you and did the notarization?
Absolutely.
And then they didn't file it because it was missing husband and wife, even though that was the section they filled out. So
Okay.
they're trying to get that cured with the county clerk today. They're over there now.
Okay,
So
so
I'm just giving you that information just as for clarity.
New information, I'm going to let you get with the staff after the meeting tomorrow or something, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. Okay.
You have a card?
So that public meeting is continued. Now we're moving to 2612 Southwest G Avenue. Is there anyone here to speak on 2612? Okay, we're going to need presentation on 2612 Southwest G Avenue, also known as 2612 and a half Southwest G Avenue.
Mayor,
Oh, I
Mayor,
missed one? Okay. All right, I'll go
Mayor.
back and get that one. We're going to go ahead and do.
do we need a motion to table that property?
Okay, can I have a motion to continue the public hearing on 1913 Northwest Lincoln Avenue? But motion made by Mr. Gill, second by Mr. Uyghur. Please vote. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, now I missed one. We're on 2612 Southwest G, and we'll go back and get the other one in a minute. Josh.
Oh, okay. So we're doing 2612, you said, right? Okay. 2612 Southwest G Avenue, aka also known as 2612 and a half Southwest G Avenue. No active water account since 2009. This one was brought back for, we didn't use the AKA of the half last time. We do have siding damage as well as roof and trim damage. Throughout the property as well, you'll see missing siding damage, butt rot on the bottom, more roof damage, more extensive roof damage on the opposite side of the house, as well as siding. The back side of the house, we do have trim and roof damage. Here's what's left of an accessory structure that was on the property that was being taken down. Posted on this property 7/9 of 24. Any questions?
At this time, I will open the public hearing on 2612 Southwest G Avenue, also known as 2612 and a half Southwest G Avenue. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward at this time. And would you give us your name and address, please?
Ramonda Bruno, address 2612 Southwest G Avenue. It's the house on the left. The house in the middle is 2612 and a half. The one on the right is 2614. It's been tied up with Arizona and my mom. They both went to the nursing home. So I'm trying to get this deed put into our church name, which was supposed to have been several years ago. The back end has been taken off, and now we're just trying to figure out a way so we can tear down this one here. The state of Arizona has not contacted nobody, and so trying to do it ourselves.
So you're trying to get it moved into the trust of a church or in the
Yes.
ownership of a church?
No, just, see, he sold it to my mom, which she was going to use it for like a little outreach.
Okay.
Well, vandalisms came in and that's why the damage is done
Okay.
to the property. And so now I'm just waiting for the state of Arizona or somebody to get back in touch with us, because, see, both of the man and my mom was supposed to sign a deed, and both of them got dementia at the same time, and both went to a nursing home, and it's just like,
Is the nursing home in Arizona? I'm trying to figure out how the state
Yep.
of Arizona fit. Okay.
because he went to the nursing facility because he got dementia.
Okay, okay.
And so now it's like, he didn't have no family. He had a brother, but that was it.
And the deed's in their name as
It's
a couple?
in their name, and then
Okay.
we've been paying the property taxes for the past 15 years on it.
Oh, wow.
And so this way here, we can put storage sheds up there, and if anybody needs anything, we don't charge them anything for it.
But you got the notice, correct?
Yes, on the
Okay.
door, but it said 2612. This is 2612.
Okay, well, what is,
Well, that's why we did the AKA.
can you bring your notice forward that you received? It looked like you got a notice there.
This
in
is
your
the
hand.
one I received from the brother several years back. Yeah, they've been
Okay,
served.
so we're clear to go in. Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
I
Okay.
just hope that you'll give me a little time and we'll get it down.
A little mess, I get it. All right,
Thanks.
thank you. Is anyone else wanting to speak on this item? At this time, I will close the public hearing. Council?
Yes, Mayor, I move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on this property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
Motion has second. Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 7-0. And we're going to back up on the agenda to 2102 Southwest 16th Street. Anyone here for 2102 Southwest 16th? Okay. Please give us a presentation.
Sorry about that. Give me a second. Okay. 2102 Southwest 16th Street, no water account on this property since 2016. We do have roof damage, pretty much missing roof all around, as well as trim on the other side of the house, siding and trim damage as well. It's kind of pretty much throughout with the siding damage. We did post on this property 7/9 of 24. Any questions?
Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing on 2102 Southwest 16th Street. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward at this time.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Richardson?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So my wife owns the property, but she wasn't able to be here today because she was sick. But what we want to do is we want to fix the house up.
Okay, anything else to tell us? Okay, you've heard me say it several times. You
I
understand
understand
the
it all.
drill, right?
I got the drill.
All right, thank you, sir.
I was a coach, so you know I got the drill.
All right, very good. Is there anyone else wish to speak on this item? At this time, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Move to approve a resolution declaring the structure on the property a dilapidated public nuisance and authorize the abatement thereof as set forth in the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
And a second, discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 7-0. Did it? Okay, that brings up item 28. Discuss possible drafting and implementation of an anti-camping ordinance within the city limits in the light of the recent United States Supreme Court decision in 23-175, City of Grants Pass, Oregon versus Johnson et al. Direct the city manager and or the city attorney to draft an ordinance for council's consideration, or alternatively refer this matter to the Homeless Action Committee for further discussion and deliberation. Who is the speaker?
I'll speak on this one
Okay.
real quick. So Councilman Harris kind of initiated this one for us to take a look at. And over a year ago, we had an assistant draft an ordinance, and then we put it on hold because this case was working its way through the courts. What this case did was it was a 6-3 decision that overturned the Ninth Circuit's ruling that the Eighth Amendment cruel and unusual punishment applies to unhoused being able to sleep outside. We could not bar sleeping outside, camping outside, unless we set aside a place for the unhoused to camp. So the Supreme Court overturned that ruling, and now we are back where we can draft and implement an anti-camping ordinance. And so that's why we're looking at this again. I know that I believe you've spoken to another assistant city attorney who's given us some input on this. So we do have an initial draft ready to go. We just want to go over it again with this recent ruling and get that back to y'all if that is your desire. But we should be able to have something back pretty quickly.
Okay, council procedure is, we do have a speaker, so council procedure is for you to ask questions, but not give your comments till the speaker has given. Do you have any questions of the city attorney? At this time, I'll ask David Reeves to come forward. And David, we've got your address here, so you can go ahead and tell us what you have. You have 3 minutes.
And sorry about that. Blessing in disguise. I needed a little more time to process. I happen to be very familiar with this ordinance in Grants Pass. I spent a few years working with unhoused people in Oregon. And I can tell you that, what the actual impact of it is that it locks the people who have the least in cycles of debt and criminalization. It causes the city to bleed on all the surrounding cities because the problem is that these people don't have anywhere to be. Oh, sure, absolutely. I apologize for that. Basically, these sorts of ordinances cause way more harm than good, and the unhoused problem only becomes visible through the absence of preventative measures, which I understand there is some progress on that on the horizon. But I don't understand what sort of ordinance you have in mind. So it's the Grants Pass City Council ordinance has only caused harm to the surrounding cities, to Grants Pass. Cities produce homeless people. They don't come from nowhere. So basically 1 in 2 Americans is one emergency away from becoming unhoused. And that's all I have. I just urge you to act with kindness.
Okay, thank you for coming. Okay, council, you're open for questions or comments? Or motions? Okay, we either need to direct the staff, deny the request, or send it to the homeless committee.
I would make a motion to direct staff to bring this back, and then at that point we can look at the draft and see if that's what we want to move on with, or if we want to have it and do part now and part later, or whatever we want to do. But I think without the ordinance, we don't really have anything to work with, so I would just direct staff to do that.
I'll make a second on that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion or debate?
Mayor, can I make a quick comment? I think there's still some nuances to this ordinance that need to be worked out. So my recommendation would be to send it to committee so those can be discussed and they can be debated, and then once the ordinance is more fully developed, it can be brought back to council and considered from this body as a whole. But I don't think we're there yet, is my comment.
Okay, so is sending it to committee going to help, or the nuances need the elected officials' involvement?
Well, there are elected officials on the Homeless Action Committee,
Right.
so
That's what
they,
I mean.
Yeah, so they can certainly weigh in and provide staff with direction as they deem appropriate. But I don't think we have a product that's ready for council's consideration, and I think that it needs some further refinement, guidance, and development before we bring it back.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Do you want to amend your motion?
I would amend my motion to direct staff to run the ordinance through the committee and then bring a semi-finished document to council.
Do you second that motion?
After a question, you talking about the committee that was just formed with Kelly on it?
I am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I second it. I mean, my second.
Okay, discussion or debate? Please vote.
I can have something pretty quickly.
Motion carries 7-0. City attorney wants to address.
Oh, no, I was just going to remark, we do have an older ordinance, and we do have some other ideas from our newer attorneys who weren't here at the time that was done. What we'll do is we'll draft something up and present it to the Homeless Action Committee. We should be able to have something ready by their next meeting. I'm just not sure when that is. We'll have something ready to show them and get their input, and then we can bring something back to City Council probably in about a month or so.
Okay, thank you. Is everybody good to keep going? Okay, item 29, consider approving an agreement between the Lawton Youth Sports Trust Authority and the City of Lawton for FY 24-25, providing $300,000 for program support, $700,000 from CI funds for design and or purchase or lease of property to be the site of a sports complex. Randy, are you the speaker? Krista was sick, by the way.
I can do that.
Okay.
Council, this is just more progress with the youth sports. This has been one of the most robust groups that has been put together. It's pretty amazing how well the authority works, and then it's even more amazing how the citizens of Lawton have responded, and the youth of Lawton have turned out. You know, they say a lot of times, if we had it, we'd participate, and this has definitely proved that fact. And I think it's a mold that we can use for other programs in the future, because it has definitely provided a service that the youth and that the parents wanted here in Lawton. This is going to help allow us to purchase the property and begin on the construction, design and construction of the building, and hopefully we can get that done quickly. Lawton Public Schools has been very kind in allowing us to use their facilities to practice, and we have used up all of those facilities, and we continue to do that on a daily and weekly basis. So I would just recommend that we approve this.
So are you making a motion?
That is a motion that we approve this.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Before we vote, we have a request to speak by Kesa Whitley. Would you please come up?
Okay, is that better? Here? Awesome. I just had a quick question, or I guess like a point of clarification. In the addendum, it says that there will be $700,000 that's provided from CIP funds, and then essentially, from my understanding, it's that if this next CIP gets passed, then we would be able to put more funding toward that in order to complete that construction process. So I guess I'm just wondering why we are starting construction on something that we haven't actually guaranteed funding for, and if the city is going to put forward some sort of a plan or an idea as to what they'll do if that funding isn't approved with the new CIP.
Thank you. Wasn't that for purchase? Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Currently, we're working on the purchase and design, and then with the future, we'll actually have construction funds.
We're just purchasing the land and designing. We're not constructing anything yet or getting into something more than we have the money to complete. It would be illegal to do that. So that's why we do it in stages.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because Councilman Warren did say construction earlier, so I just wanted to clarify.
And I apologize,
you.
but the only way we can construct is if we design and purchase first.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Discussion or debate? Please vote. Motion carries 7-0. Bringing up item 30, consider approving an ordinance pertaining to business by amending section 735-1, 3502, division 735-1, article 735, chapter 7, lot city code 2015, by removing the language for the grace period for the original licenses, adding an expiration of June 30th annually, providing for severability and establishing an effective date. Charlotte. Okay, is mine working? We're going to take a 7-minute break for technology.
This one's still blinking, BJ. I just have 3 today.
Thank you for that email.
Yes.
Stop. It's good. It's good.
No.
Test, test. No.
You're blinking red again.
Test, test. Oh, they downstairs. Test, test.
No, I was just saying something.
No, he said pass it around.
I got past, yeah. So I'm gonna give it.
It's time to get started. Please get back to your seats. Okay, Charlotte, you got a microphone? You're on. Okay, council, we're going to be passing the wireless mic on this side because the fix is not a quick fix. And we'll be passing that. Take a little time, but maybe you'll talk a little shorter.
Oh, well.
Charlotte.
Okay, I'll be real quick on this. That is really loud. So this ordinance change is just a real simple one. When we originally drafted this in 2022, we gave a grace period, so we're striking the language regarding the original grace period and putting a new piece in that says all licenses will expire annually on June 30th, and the ones that we've issued over the past few months will be extended until June 30th of 2025.
Mayor and council, I made this recommendation to Charlotte for ease of tracking. So if all of the licenses expire at a certain time, it's easier to track that than if they periodically expire throughout the year. So I think this is just an easier way to stay on top of annual licenses.
Okay, Mr. Gill.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve this ordinance.
Is there a second? We do have a second. Discussion or debate? Ms. Chapman, did you have discussion? No?
Stop straight. Retitle
do we have discussion? We got to read, okay, your motion was to read the title.
And skip,
Waive the reading of the orders to read the title. And that was your second, whoever seconded it, right? Okay, please read the title.
Is it on? Okay. An ordinance pertaining to businesses by amending Section 7-35-1-3502, Division 7-35-1, Article 7-35, Chapter 7, Lawton City Code 2015, by removing the language for the grace period for the original licenses, adding an expiration date of June 30th annually, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Please vote. Okay, we're going to have to call roll.
Uyghur? Yes. Williams? Yes. Warren? Yes. Hankins? Chapman? Yes. Gill? Yes. Hampton?
Yes.
Motion carries. Bringing up item 31. Consider approving an ordinance pertaining to nuisances and health by amending section 15.2.201, 15.2.202, 15.2.204, 15.2.205, 15.2.206, and 15.2.208, Article 15.2, Chapter 15, Lawton City Code 2015, by clarifying language for rental company registration, increasing the citation fees, adding that the rental company registration expires annually on June 30th, adding language to issue citations weekly for violations prior to any abatement, changing notice to notice of violation, changing administrative order to abatement notice, adding language for property owners or person otherwise in possession or control of any lot, tract, or parcel of land situated wholly or in part with the corporate limits of the city, changing the time frame from 6 months to 1 year that any subsequent violations occur without having to renotice, changing the appeal of the abatement notice from city council to a hearing officer, adding language that an appeal of the hearing officer shall go to city council, clarifying the section of code that abatement costs can be appealed, adding language that the property owner or persons otherwise in possession of the property shall have 30 days to pay the cost notice before the monetary lien is filed with the county, adding language stating that subsequent violations of refuse at the curb or public right-of-way shall be issued citations, and the citations may be written daily, changing other forms of abatement to other forms of enforcement, and adding language that the utility bill will be charged for abatement, providing for severability, and declaring an emergency. Now, I can't hear what you're saying with that microphone. Let's give you this one. And we may just pass that all over. I want to see if I could hear John real easy.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one's a mouthful. After some discussion with the city manager, we took a look at our Chapter 15, which is how we do our abatements for tall grass and weeds, junk and debris, junk vehicles, all of that stuff. So we've made several changes. You guys have a copy of the ordinance in the packet. We're increasing the fines that we write when we write citations from first offense of $200 to $300. Within the next year, a second offense is going to be $500 instead of $300, and the final offense is $750. So third and subsequent offenses are going to be $750 fines. We've changed the rental registration that right now I believe we have 3 companies that actually use that to all expire at the same time. Once again, it's tracking purposes. They're not updating us as often as they should, so we're putting a specific date in there that they're going to expire. And then we are also creating a section to where if we've got a property that is a multiple violator, meaning we've been out there multiple times, where we start a citation process prior to actually going out to do the abatement, to get them to try to do the abatement themselves, instead of us having to spend excess amount of hours, a huge amount of time getting a contractor out there and falling behind. We're behind on mowing and junk and debris and all that right now because we don't have enough contractors, but we're working on it. And those citations are going to be written weekly until the issue is taken care of. We're also changing the administrative order to an abatement notice. I've been told that the administrative order seems more like a citation. You get an abatement or you get an administrative notice or order from DEQ, you're thinking violation, you're thinking citation. So we're just changing it to an abatement order, and that's something that other cities are doing as well. And then one thing that we've done throughout is anywhere that it references the property owner, it now states, or person otherwise in possession or control of any lot, tract, or parcel of land situated wholly or in part within the corporate city limits. And so we put that in there so that we're not just going after the property owner. It gives us right to go after the renter or a property manager or anybody else to take care of the situation. Normally, our current process is if we've written a notice of abatement within 6 months, we can go back out without providing a new notice. We can just go out and do an abatement. We're changing that from 6 months to 1 year. Minimum is 6 months. Tulsa has 24 months on theirs. So we're kind of in the middle. 2 years is too long, but 6 months is not quite long enough on some of them. And then if a person wants to file an appeal for the administrative notice, or the abatement notice is what it's going to be called, they'll go to a hearing officer, which will be me or my deputy, whichever one of us is available to hear that. We are already technically doing that, so we're just changing process to meet us. If they don't like our answer, they still have the ability to appeal through counsel. And let's see what else. And then we put, the next item is actually the fees that will be associated with the utility bill cleanup for the junk and debris that's been considered abandoned at the curb. And then we're asking you guys to approve this and declare it an emergency.
Declare it and approve an emergency.
Yes.
Okay, council, do you have questions?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the ordinance, waive the reading of the ordinance, read the title only, and declare an emergency.
Okay, we're going to have a separate vote on the emergency.
Then take the emergency off.
Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second? We do have a second. Please read the title.
Okay. An ordinance pertaining to nuisances and health by amending sections 15-2-201, 15-2-202, 15-2-204, 15-2-205, 15-2-206, and 15-2-208, Article 15-2, Chapter 15, Lawton City Code 2015, by clarifying language for rental company registration, increasing the citation fees, adding that the rental company registration expires annually on June 30th, adding language to issue citations weekly for violations prior to any abatement, changing notice to violation, changing administrative order to abatement notice, adding language for property owner or person otherwise in possession or control of any lot, tract, or parcel of land situated wholly or in part within the corporate limits of the city, changing time frame from 6 months to 1 year, that any subsequent violations occur without having to renotice, changing the appeal of the abatement notice from city council to hearing officer, adding language that an appeal of the hearing officer should go to city council, clarifying the section of code that abatement costs can be appealed, adding language that the property owner or person otherwise in possession of the property will have 30 days to pay the cost notice before the monetary lien is filed with the county, adding language stating that subsequent violations of refuse at the curb or public right-of-way should be issued citations, and citations may be written daily, changing other forms of abatement to other forms of enforcement, and adding language that the utility bill will be charged for abatements, providing for severability, and declaring an emergency. How fast was that?
Please vote. Oh, call the roll.
Williams? Warren? Hankins? Chapman? Gill?
Yes.
Hampton? Uyghur?
Motion carries. Bringing up item 32.
With the emergency clause.
Oh, we got to declare the emergency.
What's the purpose of that?
What's the purpose of the emergency?
It's so that we can start enforcing it immediately.
I make a motion to call for an emergency clause, and the ordinance just read. Now, can we do it this time, approve that, and waive the reading?
Yeah, you don't have to read it.
Okay. No, not for
Is there a second? We have a motion and a second, and this requires a 2/3 majority. Please vote.
It does.
Warren? Hankins? Chapman? Gill?
Yes.
Hampton?
Yes.
Uyghur? Williams?
It's unanimous. Motion carries. Item 32, consider approving a resolution amending Appendix A, Schedule of Fees and Charges, Lawton City Code 2015, pertaining to Chapter 15, Nuisances and Health, by amending Article A 15.2.204 and creating Article 15A 15.2.206. Charlotte.
Okay, this one is real easy and simple. It's a companion item to the one before. The wrong code section was on part of it where it talked about the registration of rental properties, so I'm correcting that. And then we're creating, and the abatement of refuse abandoned at the curb and or right-of-way at $300 per hour. And that will be the fee that is tied to the utility bill after abatement.
Council, do you have questions or motion?
I make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we approve that ordinance.
Motion for approval and a second. Discussion or debate? Please call the roll.
Hankins. Chapman. Gill. Hampton. Uyghur. Williams. Warren.
Motion carries 6-0. Bringing up 33, consider approving an ordinance pertaining to personnel policies and procedures relating to retirement system for regular employees hired prior to July 1, 2017, amending Section 17.3.4.336, Division 17.3.4, Article 17.3, Chapter 17, Lawton City Code 2015, by increasing member and city contributions for providing for severability and establishing an effective date. Tim.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. What we're talking about today is an ordinance. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to be too loud. So what we're talking about today is an ordinance that amends the provisions in our code that deal with our legacy retirement plan. This is the defined benefit plan. And it's been roughly 13 years since we've increased the contributions to the retirement plan. And so the proposed ordinance, what it does, Mayor and Council, it increases the percentage that the city contributes for the retirement plan from 10% of an employee's pay to 11.5%. So it's a 1.5% increase. And it does the same for the general employee. So the employee currently contributes 6.3% of their pay to the retirement plan, and it will, if approved, this would go up to 7.8% of their pay would go to the retirement plan. And this is basically the actuary has recommended increases to the retirement plan to help shore it up. It's my understanding this has been budgeted in our budget this year for this, and Dwayne can talk to that if necessary, but that's been put in. And it has gone to the Employee Advisory Committee. They review Chapter 17 changes. They recommended approval of the ordinance. It also went to the Pension Board yesterday. Pension Board reviewed it, and they're recommending Council adopt it also.
And it was budgeted for?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay. Any questions? A motion?
Tim, are you going to introduce Mr. Paparonis?
I'm sorry, yes. So, apologize. This is John Paparonis. I think some of the council members know him. He is our pension attorney, and he'll be here to brief on an item we have in executive session and potentially one of these other ordinances.
Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the ordinance, waive the reading of the ordinance, and read the title only.
Do we have a second? Please read the title.
An ordinance pertaining to personnel policies and procedures relating to retirement system for regular employees hired prior to July 1st, 2017, amending Section 17-3-4-336, Division 17-3-4, Article 17-3, Chapter 17, Lawton City Code 2015, by increasing member and city contributions, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Chapman? Oh, are we working
We
now?
may be working.
Yeah, it looks like it's working. So one more.
Motion carries 6-0.
There's only 6.
Okay.
Sorry.
Motion carries 6-0. Bringing up item 34. consider approving an ordinance pertaining to personnel policies and procedures relating to administration of the retirement system, amending section 17.3.4.354, division 17.3.4, article 17.3, chapter 17, Lawton City Code 2015 by clarifying compliance with the Internal Revenue Service Employee Plans Compliance Resolution System, providing for severability and established an effective date. Tim.
Mayor and Council, this is a proposed amendment. Again, it deals with the defined benefit plan, the retirement plan for general employees. And on the matter, we'll be discussing in executive session the investigation that's been ongoing into pension calculations. Part of that discussion will involve the need, if there are adjustments that need to be made, that we have to pay interest on anybody who was underpaid in those situations. And so in looking at this code provision and talking with our pension attorney, John Paparonis, we believe that we are required under the IRS to pay interest on operational failures that occur in the plan. And so we need to make that clear in our code. And so upon his recommendation, we bring this ordinance that does make that expressly stated, so that if there is an operational issue, a failure, and we have to pay someone back some funds because of that it would be under the IRS. We are required to do that with interest. And so that is what this code provision takes care of, sir.
Questions or motions?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve this.
Make a motion to approve, waive the reading of the
Waive the
ordinance,
reading,
and read
yeah.
the title only. Is there a second?
read
There
that.
is a second?
I read
Did
that
you
once.
second that, Ms.
Yes.
Chapman?
I read that once, it didn't do anything.
Please read the ordinance.
An ordinance pertaining to personnel policies and procedures relating to administration of the retirement system, amending section 17-3-4-354, division 17-3-4, article 17-3, chapter 17, Lawton City Code 2015, by clarifying compliance with the Internal Revenue Service Employee Plans Compliance Resolution System, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
And then, Mayor and Council, I will add that proposal went to the Employee Advisory Committee and went to the Pension Board yesterday, and they both voted to recommend approval.
Thank you. I need one more vote. Thank you, Mr. Gill. Vote 6-0.
I want to make sure to thank Tim. I
Now
think you worked with Melissa on this one, this item?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you guys both for your work on this, and Mr. Pepperonis too. Thank you guys.
Item 35, consider approving an ordinance pertaining to personnel policies and procedures relating to the Employee Advisory Committee, amending section 17.2.9.215, division 17.2.9, article 17.2, chapter 17, Lawton City Code 2015, by excluding retirement and pension amendments from Employee Advisory Committee review, correcting a numerical error, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date. Tim.
Okay, just real briefly, Mayor and Council, in doing these other two ordinances, we noticed a correction that needed to be made here. And what we're talking about is our retirement plan is under Chapter 17 of City Code, which is personnel policies and procedures. We have what's called the Employee Advisory Committee, and one of their charges is to review changes to Chapter 17 of City Code, which technically would include the retirement plan. But we also have a pension board, and the pension board, that is their subject matter jurisdictional area where that's what they do. And so it's somewhat redundant to have an employee advisory committee that's reviewing and making recommendations on things that really go to the pension board. And so that's why we're recommending this amendment. So the employee advisory committee would still review Chapter 17 changes, just not those related to the pension system. And so this did go to the employee advisory committee. They recommended approval, and pension board recommended approval also.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the ordinance, waive the reading of the ordinance, and read the title only.
And a second. Please read the title.
An ordinance pertaining to personnel policies and procedures relating to the Employee Advisory Committee, amending section 17-2-9-215, division 17-2-9, article 17-2, chapter 17, Lawton City Code 2015, by excluding retirement and pension amendments from Employee Advisory Committee review, correcting a numerical error, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. Tim, good to see you.
See you too, Mayor and Council. Thank you very much.
Mayor, we're striking item 36.
Okay, item 36 is struck. Bringing us up to item 37. Provide City Council with an update on FY 2023 and FY 2024 audit process. Rebecca, did I get it?
Yes, sir.
All right, look at me.
Mayor
Let me
and Council.
see. Do you have your I Love Lawton pen on?
What's the penalty? I'm going to have to start bringing money.
Okay, put this on before you talk, because we can't.
Thank you.
You have been warned.
Trust me, I've already paid like $25.
I am pleased to stand before you today. We have 7 days left till our goal. 7 days. We are on track. This is for the 2023 audit to be turned over to Crawford and Associates for their financial statements to be presented for the auditor. 2024, again, as we discussed 2 weeks ago, we just closed the year. We're on track for it as well.
Let's just recap real easy, because I can't hear and you need to get a little closer. When are you turning it over to Crawford?
August 1st.
August 1st? And then they'll have it turned into the state by October 1st?
They're going to turn it over within a 2-week period of time to Forvis, our auditors.
Oh, okay. Okay. Crawford gets it for 2 weeks, then it goes to Forvis.
Forvis
and
will
is
be
there-
on site.
Pardon?
Forvis will be on site with us doing their audit about the 3rd week of August.
And October 1 is when they will turn it over to the state, and we will be caught up effectively. And then I heard we're going to stay caught up, and we're going to present our 23-24 audit before December 31. Is that what I heard?
That is our goal.
Pardon?
The goal.
Well,
That is our goal.
You have seen this, right?
I have seen that.
So I'll show you a clause in there, but I won't say it out loud, but it says no excuses, okay? Thank you very much. That was a good report. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you. I appreciate that great report. This is so important to our city. Thank you and your staff.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to go into executive session and a second. Please call the roll.
Hampton. Uyghur. Williams. Warren. Chapman. Gill.
It sounds like it's working. Oh, it's this. Test.
So it's like.
Test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
Do we have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved, Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayor.
Excuse me, Miss
Madam-
Mayor.
Second, Madam Mayor.
Yeah, okay. In regard to item 38, do we have something on that? Do we have a reading? John?
Here, I'm
Okay,
pulling it up. So
all right.
Here, I moved my finger back here. I should be ready. Oh, here we go. Well, first, on item 38, we met pursuant to section 307B.4. Sorry. Oh, we considered, we discussed the status of an ongoing investigation concerning pension calculations. We don't need to take any action in open session on that. Item 39, pursuant to section 307B.2 of Title 25, we convene an executive session to discuss negotiations for a collective bargaining agreement for the next contract fiscal year 2025-2026 or more between the International Association of Firefighters Local 1882 and the City of Lawton. And we do have a motion to take action here in open session.
Yeah, thank you. I make a motion to direct staff to send a notice to the IAAFF Local 1882 of the city's intention to open up negotiations for the FY 2025-2026 collective bargaining agreement, and direct the city manager to appoint a negotiating team.
Vote will be verbal.
Williams,
Yes.
Warren, Chapman,
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Uyghur, Hankins,
Yes. Okay, item number 39. There,
That was 39.
oh, that was 39. 38.
We didn't have any
is-
action to take. in
Okay,
open session.
that's what I thought. Okay, then do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Okay, you want to call the vote?
Hankins, Chapman, Gill, Hampton, Uyghur, Williams,
Yes.